Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone had a great day. And I would like to start off with how could this happen? Again, inside a prisoner. You see my title? A woman visits her husband in prison. She never made it out. And now he is charged with her murder. David Brinson had been charged with murder in connection with the November 24th unaliving of Stephanie Diane, his wife. It's stated that Diane, or Stephanie, 62 years old, was unalived during an overnight family visit with her husband, David. And David is located at the Mule Creek State Prison in California. My question was, how could this happen? Why did this happen? And where were the guards? And also, why was his wife allowed to stay overnight at a prison? Then I want to back it up a little bit. After doing some research, I found out that Brinson was convicted in 1990 of murdering 4 men during a robbery. And he was sentenced to 4 life terms without the possibility of parole. So if David Brinson, whatever his name is, was convicted of 4 murders, why was he allowed to have his wife or anyone to come to the prison and stay overnight? Our system is broken. Our system is broken. It said David, 55, was charged with unaliving, a murder on the 13th of this month. They charged him the 13th of this month, but unaliving his wife last year. They had said that on November the 13th of last year, shortly after 2 a.m., David called the prisoner guard and told them that his wife had passed out. So the officer began to perform life-saving measurements to try to save her. They called 911. They found it, noticed that she had been choked to death by David. Then they pronounced Stephanie dead at 2:51 a.m. in the morning. And then they ruled her death as a homicide. But I go back to that question, the cup of them really, is how could this happen and why did this happen? Why was Stephanie allowed to stay overnight at a prison with her husband? This is my first time even hearing anything about prisons or state prisons or whatever allow inmates to invite their spouses or their fiance there for overnight stay. Like they said, Stephanie Dowell could not be saved, so they pronounced her dead at 2:51 a.m. in the morning. And the sad thing about this with Stephanie is that was her husband, yes. She was 62 years old, and he was 55. I think Stephanie, it had to be love, and also had to be a little bit mental disorder, a mental condition there. Because like I had mentioned before, you can have mental issues, which is nothing but sometimes it's just mental disorder in your brain. And that will cause you to have social problems, panic. You have those problems sometimes during this different season of the year. Some people even bipolar. Some people have problem with attention span. Some people have problem at separation. And mental disorder is a medical condition that also can disrupt a person's thinking, emotion control, and behavior. So if you look at this and you try to analyze it, you'll notice that she had something wrong with her. And the reason why I say that, because what human being in the right mind will still have any contact with David, her husband? I understand that's her husband. I understand that's her husband. And the Bible tell you to death to do your part. But the Bible did not tell you that if your husband go out here and kill 4 human beings, and he convicted for killing 4 human beings and sentenced to 4 life term without parole, that you're supposed to stick with him. No, that's not what the Bible said. This man should not even be able to look at society. He should not be able to touch anybody out here in society. This man, be honest with you, it's not my call to say what they should do to him, but he shouldn't even be able to get up in the morning. He had killed 4 people, innocent people. It's 4 men that he killed during a robbery, so it's 4 family that is crushed by this man. And you sit here and they allow him to have his wife come and spend the night. This is crazy. This is really crazy. But to get back to Stephanie really did have some problems. And this is what I'm trying to say over and over, that we'll have people out here walking out here and they really have some mental disorder out here. And they have these mental conditions that they really, really need help. Because if she had any kind of self-control, any kind of critical thinking going on up there, she would have not even went up to that jail and spent nights with David, knowing that David, her husband, had already taken 4 lives. Yes, she was 62 and David was 65. But this just show you that something up there was not on. And the only thing we have to do is say, rest in peace. Rest in peace. That's the only thing we have to do. Say, rest in peace. There's nothing else no one else can do. I don't know if her family going to try to sue the prison or sue the state. But the way things is with California, they claim they never have any money. I don't even know where they're going to get the funds to give it to her family. And why did this prison or the system is so broken and to allow this to go on? Because they had also said about I would say about 4 or 5 months before that, they had another case. And it was this 47-year-old female, uh, Tiana Thomas, I want to recall. I think it was Tiana Thomas. She was unalive during her visit with her husband. He was also charged with murder for killing his wife. And like they said, they both were killed during a so-called family visit. And I keep having this question going back. How could this happen? Why did this happen? And also, why was they, even if they had to want to go to visit their husband, why was they visiting their husband 2 a.m. in the morning? Who allowed them to come into prison 2 a.m.? I thought after a certain time the prison was shut down. I thought after a certain time the prison was closed off to the public. No one could come in and no one was going out. So we have a broken system. And this broken system that we have, it causing so many people to check out early. And all of this could be prevented. This could have been prevented. Because those wives should have make that visit to that prison during daytime hours. And a security guard should have been there at all times. No one had to set up a knee for you, but they could have been on the outside, or they could have been in the corner or somewhere looking. So like I said, the system failed again. But what I cannot understand is why they allow these two guys to have their wives, allow anyone else to have the fiance or girlfriend come up 2 a.m. in the morning and be with the inmates when they already had done some crucial bad crimes, like unaliving someone, murdering someone, hurting someone. But you got two other human beings that are locked up now. One of them is Sean Puffy Combs, known as Diddy. He's locked up, cannot get a bond, because he was with two grown ladies. Two grown, full grown. And they were doing some freaky things inside the bedroom. Now, they was grown. But Sean cannot get a bond because they holding it against him. Because they saying that he may be afraid. Those two ladies are afraid of him. He never hurt nobody. You might seen something on the tape where he probably had a little thing going on with Cassie. But no one really know what happened. You only see that video, but you don't see the video where she hit him. We just see the video where he hit her. So what I'm saying is why is he cannot get a bond. But you have these two inmates can have female come up and spend the night with him. And then the next one is R. Kelly. I know no one want to talk about it. They charge him. These were his two girlfriends. They charge him with messing with underage girl, and when no girls was of age. It was no underage girl. They just want you to think it was underage girl. And what people need to do is start seeking, do your research, have common sense, do critical thinking, and know how to separate your feelings. Because we have people that in the prison, like these two ones right here, especially David. He done killed 5 already. and he's still sitting behind bars, getting 3 meals. He lays in the bed. He watch TV. He can have any female come up and have sex. Oh yeah, they come up at 2 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, and they spend the night. And he done took 5 lives. So my question is, I'm gonna go back. How could this happen? Why did it happen? And what next? Because we have David, like I said, is still in prison, having anything he wants, having friends come up to the jail, and nobody doing nothing about it. And this is in California. So when is this going to stop? Why are we having some people go to jail for little things and you want to lock them away? But then you got ones that you get caught for doing something, you put them in jail, but it's just like they being out because they have all the freedom in jail. They have different ones who come spend the night, 2 o'clock in the morning. If you have someone in your cell at 2 a.m. in the morning and they leave out around 6 or 7, to me, they have spent the night. They have spent the night. So I'm saying, why is California prison still taking care of David? David have taken 5 human beings off of this earth. He had broken 5 homes. So why is David still getting up every morning? That's my question. Why is David still getting up every morning? Why is David still having phone calls? Why is David still having visitors? Why is David still eating? Why? I have all these questions for them. He done took 5. And David's still sitting there and taxpayer paying for his money and his life, taking care of his funds. So you tell me, why is California allowing this happen? And every time you turn around, California is the one talking about having money problem. Because there's somebody up there not doing their job. This man should not see daylight. 5 lives, and he still have all this freedom. He just in prison, but he still have freedom. He can get anything he wants. So all I can say to Stephanie and Tatiana Thomas, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Because this one right here, y'all 2 ladies should have used common sense. Once you have a husband inside that prison wall, and they tell you that your husband have been charged with murdering 4 people, and he is charged with 4 life term without possible parole, you should do some critical thinking and use your common sense. And I would not went up and see him not one day. And phone calls would started decreasing, and I wouldn't be taking no more phone calls. And before I go, I don't want nobody to say, well, death do you apart. Because yes, that's what the Bible said, death do us apart. And we supposed to stick with our mate until death do us apart. But in nothing in that Bible said, your mate's supposed to go out here and take 4 lives for no reason at all. And you have to stay with him. That's not what our Heavenly Father said. That's not what our Heavenly Father said. So only thing we can do right now is pray for those two ladies and just hope someone else out here don't make that mistake. Rest in peace, Stephanie. Rest in peace, Tatiana. Rest in peace. Until next time, thank you guys.